People, how are we? Hopefully we're all doing well. I know, I'm back in my car. I need a haircut. I haven't got a microphone. I apologise for all of that, but I didn't want to miss an upload. I'm actually growing my hair out as well, so that's going to have to stay as it is, unfortunately. Let's talk about Makhmudov versus Tyson Fury, or Tyson Fury versus Makhmudov. We all knew it was coming. We all knew Tyson Fury wasn't going to stay retired. That much was inevitable. We didn't know who it was going to be against, when it would be that he'd come out, or where it would be. Now these things have all aligned. We know that he's coming out of retirement on April 11th against Makhmudov. It's at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London, and it's on Netflix. That's all quite big news. Let's start with the fact that he's coming out of retirement. That's quite big, mainly because Tyson Fury in the sport of boxing is beneficial. I'm not his biggest fan by any stretch, and those of you that watched me for a while will know that, but what he does do is bring eyeballs to the sport, and that is really good. You can't complain about somebody who's bringing eyeballs to the sport, bringing attention to the sport, right or wrong. What we also can't complain about is the fact it's on Netflix. Everybody has access to Netflix. Whether you haven't got the Netflix subscription yourself, you'll still have an account on someone's, like a profile on someone's account. I know I do. I don't personally pay Netflix, but I've got an account, a profile on my sister's account, a profile on my brother's account, a profile on my girlfriend's account. So, well, I don't, but I use her account. Do you know what I mean? So we've all got access to Netflix. Some people have multiple accesses to multiple Netflixes. So having that in the sport, it's almost like having it back on daytime television. Look, it's not BBC, it's not ITV. And I know it is because obviously boxers on there, but really this is kind of like having that, isn't it? Because everybody has Netflix, and Netflix clearly are a proper player in the game. They're not just doing the Jake Pauls or the, well, kind of just the Jake Pauls. They've done Canelo versus Crawford, and you can kind of argue that he's going up a couple of weight classes. Maybe it wasn't a legitimate fight, but this certainly is. This clearly proves that they're in the game. They're in the game. Fury versus Makhmudov being on Netflix proves they're in the game. The only slight concern that you might have around Netflix taking this, we're starting to get spread quite thin. You know, what I don't want, and what you probably don't want, is what you don't want to happen is it end up like football, where you're paying a million different subscriptions just to see your Saturday night fights. Because with football, you've got to pay TNT, you know, Amazon were in there, Sky, obviously, they're in there, and suddenly you find yourself paying 1,000,001 subscriptions, and you don't even get to watch all the fights, because suddenly the matches are at 3 o'clock kickoff. So you don't want that. In the same way, you don't want to be paying 110 subscriptions. You know, YouTube are in there, and then Amazon are now coming in there, and Paramount are in there, and DAZN are in there, and Netflix are in there, and obviously you got TNT and Sky, and it's like, well, we've now got 101 subscriptions to pay. And on top of our subscriptions, most of these big fights are pay-per-view. And to some extent, fights that aren't even big fights are pay-per-view. And I don't mean to moan, right? I think this is a good thing. I'm just saying, I don't want to have to start paying, because Amazon are involved, DAZN are involved, Sky are involved, Netflix are involved, Paramount are involved. That's 5. Obviously, as I say, everyone's got Netflix. If you're into boxing, you've probably got DAZN, but you don't want to start paying loads of subscriptions and then get charged a pay-per-view fee on top of that. So I don't want to start having this almost over-accessibility to the point where it becomes inaccessible to a certain degree. I hope that makes sense. But Fury's still a stadium fighter, because look, I know Makhmudov's coming off a big win against Dave Allen, where his name's kind of hot right now, but by no means is he a stadium fighter. So Fury, if this sells out Tottenham Hotspur, is still a stadium fighter, and on relatively short notice. I mean, we're in the middle of Feb now. Tickets won't go on sale until the end of Feb, so you know, basically all of March and a little bit of April. Call it a month and a half when you include the back end of Feb. Suddenly, Fury's obviously still a name, and they clearly back him to do stadiums. I wasn't sure if this would be a Tottenham Hotspur stadium fight, if I'm honest with you. Fury is a stadium fighter, but I just didn't know if this would do it, but they obviously back him to do it. So on short notice. He can do a stadium. He's clearly good for boxing. You know, the thing with Fury is he's massive on social media. He's always active and putting things out on social media. And I don't know why more fighters aren't like that. You need to be like that. So when Fury comes out of this, where does he go? Usyk, Wilder, Usyk, AJ or Wardley. I think that's it really. If you can't get Usyk, AJ or Wardley, that's kind of your options exhausted, isn't it? So he probably retires at the end of this year, at most next year, depending on if he goes to AJ. Then you've got the AJ rematch will probably happen. Perhaps a trilogy with AJ or Usyk. And if he wants to, you know, fight Wardley, then AJ sort of thing. Early to no later than 2027. But I could see this being his last year. And what a comeback fight it was, by the way. Choosing Makhmudov, who's a bit of a name now, slow feet. He's a good skills, but basic skills. Basic boxer, a bit of power, doesn't trouble Fury. But he's basic, slow feet, big guy. That's a really good choice for Fury. So I think this all round is good. I think this is quite good. I do question what Turki Al-Sheikh's plan is, because he's got fingers in all the pies. He's got Ring Magazine, who seem to be with Netflix by the looks of it, Zuffa Boxing, who are with Paramount, and Riyadh Season, who are with DAZN. So he's kind of, again, this spread thin thing. But that's all my opinions on it, people. Overall, quite good. Fury's going to win. It being on Netflix is a good thing. I just hope they don't go too far. Let me know your thoughts on all this in the comment section down below. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and all stuff works, people. Peace.